Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live. So, in case you don't know who I am, I'm Rhonda Kelly from Rhonda's Readings. Wishing you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. I've just put my banner going across. So, yeah, it's obviously St. Patrick's Day being Friday. I've said I'll be doing lives on Tuesday fortnightly, but I've just been really busy. So, I've done last couple of fortnights sort of later in the week. I will be going back to doing the Tuesday night in a couple of weeks' time, or sort of a week and a half's time. So that's what I'll be doing. So I hope everyone is well. I'm obviously coming to you at a very different time. Someone said, hi, Rhonda. I don't know who you are. Just in the link below, there is a description just to allow Facebook and StreamYard to show your permission to show your name. Hi, Natalie. How are you? Beautiful. Alrighty, so it's obviously St. Patrick's Day. I hope you've seen my post. I have been thinking about my grandfather a lot lately. He was, the kindest man I knew as a child, and I only wish that I knew him as an adult and could, talk about life with him. But being a medium, I am able to talk to him. I don't always hear that well, and I tend to connect better with other people's loved ones rather than my own, whether that's a spiritual protection thing or whatever that is. But I know my granddad's around me, and I asked him for a little sign to confirm that he had been around me this week. So it's been quite stressful. And for those of you who know what's going on, I appreciate your support. So sending big hugs to you. So I asked him for a sign from spirit, basically saying an expression of kindness and something that I would like. And if you saw my Facebook posts, and it's on Twitter at Rhonda Psyche, Instagram at Psychic Rhonda Kelly, Facebook Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly and Rhonda's Readings, I posted a picture. It's basically, I just got a small coffee and a small cappuccino in a cafe, and she gave me a cupcake with green ice cream icing on top. So it was absolutely beautiful. So I was absolutely stoked to get that. It was really really nice. It was really surprising. I actually saw them in the little counter, and I said, oh, they're really cute. And she said, oh, thanks, I can give you one if you like. And I kind of just laughed at it and was like, no, that's okay, you don't have to give me anything. And she did, so it was really sweet. But yeah, I thought they were for sale, not for free. But anyway, so she gave me that. And then my husband, in just as a sort of like, awesome job, just to support your St. Patrick's Day live, he brought these choc mint. I used to love choc mint ice cream as a child. Now I find it tastes like toothpaste, but I still like it. But yeah, it was beautiful. So that's really cool. And I've got my little glass of green creamy soda. This is actually a South African one that we love called Spaletta. So I can assure you there's no Madeira or no other green alcohol. It's not alcoholic. But that's, letting you know it's St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. Thank you, Lenny. Thanks for the well wishes for St. Patrick's Day. I did actually invite, hi, Linda. So I did actually invite a friend from Ireland to come online, but it's actually about 4 a.m. So she's, I'm hoping she's having a good night's sleep, and it was kind of a last minute invite, so it's probably a bit rude of me, but she's quite she has a lot of energy. She's got a great personality, so I was thinking, oh, maybe she would, but no, but that's okay. So you've just got me. So my plans over the next sort of month or so, I will be in Melbourne the next couple of weeks. So I'll be in Melbourne, and I'll also be in Victoria. So that's where I'll be. If you're based in Melbourne and you'd like a face-to-face reading, I'm available in Melbourne. I'm still continuing my business, obviously, with Zoom readings, WhatsApp readings, or phone readings. I've only done a few this week, so I do have a bit of a waiting list, unfortunately. I've just had a lot going on, so I'm catching up on some, but I do still have availability if you want to contact me to book in for a reading. That's completely fine. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm doing. I'm also going to be in Christchurch in New Zealand in April, the first 2 weeks of April. So my husband and I are having a bit of a holiday, a well-deserved holiday. I know we travel a lot, and that sounds all romantic and all the rest of it, but we both work. So my husband works remotely and I work by touring. So, and work when I'm not touring, when I'm not doing face-to-face readings. So it's not all holidays. We're not in a position to retire yet. So we are still working and making a living. So not as glamorous as you think, but yeah, that's basically our plan. So Melbourne the next couple of weeks, and then Victoria, and then we're flying to New Zealand for a couple of weeks. And then that's going to get onto the MBS season. So it will be May MBS in Sydney and June MBS in Melbourne. So yeah, just the usual sort of, and I'm in the usual spot. I'm row B, sort of just near the entrance. So that's my usual spot. I've sometimes in A as well, but I prefer to be B because I'm sort of facing the entrance. Yeah, so that's basically me. So hello. Beautiful. Okay, I'm happy you found me on Facebook because you've commented on my Facebooks. Hello, Robert. Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. No other comments on YouTube. No, that's okay, Lenny. So, you're watching from YouTube. Yeah, beautiful. Please, so yeah, if you're watching from YouTube, Rhonda's Readings, please subscribe. If you're watching from Facebook, please share the video, particularly if you'd like me to answer a question. And let me know you've done that before you ask your question or with your question. Otherwise, I won't answer your question, basically. Yeah, so you have to like and share. So follow me on my Facebook group, Rhonda's Readings, or my Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rhonda's Readings. Yeah, so you need to do that and then ask your question. So yeah, another green thing I've got is my Law of Attraction cards. I'm just looking for green things, basically. I was really excited I found this top. And these are my cards for Law of Attraction. So I'll be picking these. These cards I brought in the US, actually, and they're beautiful. They're really, really interesting artwork. Each picture, I mean, if you know, I don't read tarot, but each picture is has got a cultural meaning or significance. And when I've channeled and I've just looked at the pictures, I've actually been given the words or the names I've given up. I actually Googled and there was some battle or something with it. So it's, yeah, really quite interesting. All right. So someone said liked and shared any messages from my parents. So is that Linda? Let me know who this is because I can't see your name. You've got to click the button to allow Facebook and StreamYard permission to show your name. It looks like I've got my necklace on. I'm actually sitting in a room where I've got a fan and it's really loud. So I'm hoping that by having my earphones in, you won't hear the sound of that. So that's what I'm doing for this one. Okay, I'm just waiting to see who that is before I answer it. And if you just type your name or give that permission. So no, Lenny, Robert's also watching from YouTube land. And while you're watching, Lenny, feel free to subscribe to Ocean Wing Psychics on YouTube and Rhonda's Readings on YouTube. That'll be awesome. And I'm happy to follow you as well, subscribe to your channel. And also, Lenny, if you like the video, click it once. If you don't like it, don't click dislike. Just click it twice. Hi, Vicky. Thank you. All right. Thanks for sharing. Alrighty. Any messages from your parents? I'm being told silence is golden right now. And I'm kind of hearing not conflict between them, but there's sort of what I'm feeling is that there's a sort of like a busyness around you, and I'm seeing kind of like a bee buzzing from, you know, flower to flower, pollen, like, you know, being a pollen vector and pollinating, where they just are just so busy. So there's a need for you to it's like there's a need for you, Vanessa, to stop, not think about what you're doing, but don't work so hard. Like, be a bit smarter about the way you're working or the way you're going. Your energy is focused between things. Like, there's a need for you to sort of step back and think, okay, so I've done this, it hasn't worked, I'm going to stop doing that. So just sort of take stock of your time and where your energy is diverted. Don't divert it to so many different places that you can't spend energy on one thing. Like, you've got to kind of watch your energy levels a bit. So that's sort of the busy and the bee. I don't feel like you're the one, Vanessa, that's talking too much, but I feel silence is golden around people around you. And that's around, I feel like that's around family, actually, or a connection. And I'm getting like a mother figure, like the welfare, or people interfering with your mother's welfare, something like that. So it kind of feels like the ones that are talking aren't necessarily the ones that know what they're talking about. So there's a need for you to just act rather than speak. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, so thank you for that. Alrighty, so I've also had I've had quite a lot of comments about just a lot of things on my Facebook, asking me like what's going on with Psychic TV. My answer to that is I'm not going to be on Sunday's show. I was invited to be on Sunday's show, but I've just got so much going on. I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm probably going to do one later in the year, but I'm just not probably going to do it this month or next month. And someone else also asked what's going on with Psychic TV, and it's like, well, just stay tuned to the Facebook page. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's sort of my answer to that. And, if I am on a live show, I'll obviously advertise that as well. And, just because I'm not on a show, then I wish Psychic TV well. So that's, so that goes without saying when you're a part of a company like that. So yeah, that's the answer to that. I'm not going to be on this weekend show, but by all means, if you want to go and watch whoever's going to be on the show, I don't think it's even been announced yet, but by all means, go and support that. That's completely fine. Okay, so I'm just going to do better. Someone asked if I was going to be at a psychic fair in Rockhampton in Queensland, and I'm actually not. I've just so basically when I book my tour dates, some of them I book a year in advance. So for example, I've already booked and paid a deposit for Brisbane in February in 2024. So that's how I do my business. I'm quite planned with events that I have to be at. And I've obviously got leeways to be at other places as well. I'm not going to be in Rockhampton in the next few months. if I go there, then that's possibly the same time next year, or but that means a bit of time for me to research what's there and that sort of thing. But just on that, if you're feeling strongly that you want to have a face-to-face reading with me, and you're pissed off that I'm not where you are, that's why I do offer remote readings. I offer readings via Zoom and Facebook and WhatsApp. I also offer email readings. So, and it's exactly the same thing as when we're on PTV in front of a television camera. We tuned in remotely. So it's using all of the senses, the sight, see, sound, feel, smell, taste, knowing. It's using all of the exact same experiences. So you're not missing out by not having a face-to-face reading with me. I'm still putting that same amount of energy. I still do my prayers and protections as I do anyone else. So, if don't take it personally if I'm not going to be in an area that's directly to you. And I realise there's some states I tour and frequent more than others. That's just the way it is, and they're major sources of sort of income and exposure for me. So that's why I do that. It's nothing against any brand that I'm not visiting or haven't known about. There's actually, there's probably a lot of psychic fairs that I don't even know about. And that's, that's not that I don't think they're good or anything like that. It's just I don't know about them. I haven't toured in that area. For those of you who know me, I've been touring for oh God, over 15 years. Oh, I started off in Melbourne, Victoria, so I went to the smaller Victorian ones. Moved to Sydney 9 years ago, and then started touring the New South Wales one. So, Illawarra, Central Coast, Mid North Coast, Bathurst, Orange. Went to those ones, and I had met some wonderful people and all the rest of it. But just because I haven't gone to a particular fair near you or haven't been to that X named festival, it's just because I don't know about it. So, by all means, just tell me if you know that there's an event coming up, or there's, you want to, even if you're at a psychic fair, get hold of the organizer's business card and photo that and send that to me as a text or something like that. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying I don't know of it yet. But I might go. There's only so much I can do. I'm the person running my business. I'm the only service provider, so I can't say, I can't be in two places at once. So that's just answering that question. Yeah, I've just had a lot of random questions. So people have asked about Psychic TV and whether I'm going to be at March's show. Also asking why I'm not going to Rockhampton. There was another question someone asked me, and it was a bit odd. Someone asked me also about meditation and said, why, she said that she can't meditate because her mind wanders. And, does that mean she hasn't got a good connection to spirit? And my answer to that is no. Sometimes I meditate and I get amazing clairvoyance and insight and all the rest of it. Other times I meditate and I think about food. Like I just, we're only human. So, in terms of answering your question, it's okay when you meditate and your mind wanders. If it's a practice that you do every day and you're strict about it, like strict as in you have a routine about it and you're self-disciplined, then you'll get better. And if you're meditating on your own and you're struggling, then my suggestion is to go to a spiritualist church or do something like that, or, you're welcome to buy CDs and listen to them. But even that, you might spend $20 on a CD and not like it. So there's YouTube channels. There's, I think it's called Meditative Mind or something like that, or sound healing meditations. There's YouTube channels that do regular meditation. So you're welcome to watch that. If you're concerned about going too deeply or not coming out of the meditation, then go to a meditation class with an experienced facilitator, someone that actually has training and qualification as a meditation facilitator. That's a lot of people say, hey, I'll teach meditation, I'll do this, but aren't necessarily trained to do that. And it's not that they have bad intention, but if something goes wrong, they won't sort of know what to do. So if that's a concern of you, that's a bit concerning, because you can manifest what you're concerned about. So that's my idea with that. So hopefully that answers those questions I've had recently about Psychic TV. What was the other one? Meditation and the fact that I'm not in Rockhampton. So apologies, Rockhampton. I'm sure you're beautiful. I haven't actually been there. I've been the furthest north I've been is Cairns, but maybe next year. All right, so that's sort of what I wanted to say to answer those questions. And yes, I am only going to be doing a live fortnightly. My intention is to have it Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock Sydney time. That suits me. It just hasn't suited me the past 2 fortnights. So you're getting me sort of like on a Thursday and Friday during the day. If you're watching from overseas and you prefer me to do a live in the morning or something like that, then, by all means, let me know your preferred time. I'm just going to show you my TikTok account. This is my TikTok account if you follow TikTok. So that's my TikTok account. I only have 166 followers. I need 1,000 followers if I'm going to be able to do lives on TikTok. Obviously, I don't want to exhaust myself and just do too many lives on too many random platforms. At the moment, it's just streamed to YouTube and Facebook. But that might be I feel like it might be interesting to do lives on TikTok, but I wouldn't sort of do them regularly. So yeah, that's just so that you know. So if you want to follow me on social media, Facebook, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly and Rhonda's Readings, YouTube, Rhonda's Readings and Ocean Wing Psychics, Twitter at Rhonda Psychic, at Rhonda's Readings, Instagram at Psychic Rhonda Kelly. I'm also on LinkedIn at Rhonda's Readings, so I've got on a few different platforms. And please be aware that I don't solicit friend requests or that sort of thing. I sometimes invite people to my Facebook group, but I don't ask for bank details or anything like that. Unfortunately, being a public figure, I do have trolls and the like that try to solicit business away from me. Also, having said that, just be careful of any business names that sound like mine. When I have a social media account, you'll see photos of me. You'll see me, the poster photo of me standing in front of the rainbow angel wings. I'm Rhonda Kelly. I've been Rhonda Kelly since, God, for almost 20 years. So that's basically my brand. So, and if you're not sure, you've got my website there, rhondasreadings.com. Have a look at the contact details. Actually, just send me a text or send me a screenshot. Say, hey, Rhonda, is this you? Kind of thing. So just make sure it is me that you're having the reading with. All right, so I probably talked enough. I haven't actually. Yeah, it is. I realized that after I said it, Lenny, but that's okay. I mean, I just haven't been in between. Like I literally caught the plane to Cairns. I didn't get out of the plane or sort of stop and have a look. Yeah. So if you're watching from Rockhampton, hi. If you've got tickets for the PTV Psychic TV show on Sunday, hi. And if you have any questions about meditation, it's very individual. There's no right or wrong. Alrighty, so I have got 100%, Lenny. For an industry that claims to be full of love and healing light, it can also be full of spiritual egos. 100%, mate. It's really a question. I'll drink to that actually with my non-alcoholic Spalletta creamy soda from South Africa. It's basically there can be a, how should I put it? There can be a very fine line between talent and egos, and I'd like to think my ego's in check. You know, I get I get things happen that my guides remind me I'm, you know, just my ego's in check. One example is I used to have a pendulum. It was I think it was like a rose quartz, but it had a bit of purple in it as well. So it was sort of pink and purple. And this pendulum was amazing. Whenever I used it, obviously you hold the pendulum and you let it spin. I had amazing energy in it. And I just got such clairvoyance and clairaudience with it. Like I normally just get that naturally, but it's like that crystal amplified those two clairs in particular. And I actually thought to myself, wow, this is really cool. I'm an awesome psychic medium. I'm really, really talented. This pendulum's made me really clever, really talented, all the rest of it. So what happened? I lost the pendulum. So that was clearly my guides keeping my ego in check, basically, you know. But that's what's actually needed. Thank you, Margaret. Oh, beautiful! You've got peach flavored iced tea. I brought in an Asian shop a Just Day cup that you obviously just add the water, and it's peach flavored tea. It's not iced tea, it's hot tea, but let me know what it's like because I'm a bit dubious about having it, but I probably should. All right, so let me go up to the top to see. So yeah, if you've just joined me, like Margaret, hello, welcome. So I'll be in Melbourne and Victoria the next 2 weeks, so Monday to Monday week. And I'm going to be in Christchurch, New Zealand, the first 2 weeks of April. So I'm going to be at the Body, Mind, Soul Festival. I am at D14, I think it is. It's a big, massive corner stand. I'm by myself, so hopefully I'm going to have to find a few more posters and things to fill up the space. So that's me. I'm also going to be giving a talk in Seminar Room A on Saturday the 1st and Sunday the 2nd of April at 12 p.m. And those talks are titled, Are You Psychic? So if you're in New Zealand and you are aware of spirit, you're aware of signs, synchronicity, and you're not sure what that means in relation to connection to your guides or whether you're psychic, come and visit my talk, and I will ask questions. So you're welcome to interact. If you don't want to talk, just sit there, but you won't get as much out of it if you don't interact. So that's in New Zealand. I did have planned workshops this month, and the people that are interested, I've given you my new dates, but if you do have an interest in learning psychic development or mediumship with me, please just contact me directly. I also, so as you know, I do the spiritual book reviews. Haven't done one for a while, but they'll be coming up over the next few months. So I've got some oracle cards, which are actually I'm pretty excited about. They're pretty. It's not just Harry T that has talent in making oracle cards. The ones the people I'm going to be interviewed, I'm really excited about. I've got some overseas guests lined up as well, so that's coming later in the year. That's also dependent on their schedule, so that's actually kind of cool. And obviously, I like to educate and empower people, and bring your questions when I have guests. Please do that. I am also, if you don't know, I'm the Executive Secretary and Academy Board Member of the Australian Spiritual Alliance. I am also the Secretary of the Spiritual Voice magazine. So if you would like to talk about something obviously spiritually related, if you have any particular expertise or any interest in a particular area related to wellness or spirituality, please send me your thoughts. If you would like to write an article, it's not a huge commitment. There's no caveats to not being allowed to publish it anywhere else or anything like that. But if you have an interest in that, or you know someone that might do, please give them my contact details. So that's my phone number. The ticket going across is my website. So that's how they can contact me. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say, actually. All right, so I'm just going to go through the comments now, and my eyes, I wish I had the same eyesight I had 10 years ago, because I'm having to look through. So I've got Natalie. Hi Linda. Hi Lenny. Hi Robert. He always calls me beautiful. Doesn't he call you beautiful, Lenny? Robert, you're slacking a bit, mate, if you're not calling Lenny beautiful. All right, beautiful. So, Natalie, can you see me reaching my weightless goals? I want to look fabulous for my 50th. Okay, it's pretty close. It's like you've done really well, I feel, Natalie. It's like you'll either, like if you've got a number in mind, you'll either surpass that by a couple of kilos or you'll be a couple of kilos off. That's what I'm feeling. But I feel like it's almost like the day of your birthday, you weigh yourself and you're 2 kilos more than you thought. And then the day after, you've lost 2 kilos or something like that. So it's like you're going to be pretty much on the money. And I feel like you look good. And I feel like you look young for your age as well. So I'm not sort of concerned about that. And just what you do with things like that, you really manifest, you imagine that you've already reached that, and you focus on the feelings of having reached that. So rather than saying, oh, I'm scared, I can never do this, don't get the negative self-talk out, but just okay, I'm going to look fabulous on my 50th. I'm going to wear this dress because I've lost weight to wear this dress. Manifest that. But yeah, I do see you being happy on your 50th, and happy birthday for when it's coming up. All right, beautiful. Just realized it looks like I've got a necklace on because I even forgotten earrings. So there you go. I've got my jewelry accessories through my earphones. All right, so let me have a look. Okay, so Lenny's asking a question. It is really nice creamy soda, by the way. It's called Sparletta. It's South African if you get a chance. It's expensive because it's not made here, so it's imported. But, yeah, we love it. We actually drank it when we went on holiday there. Oh, I can't remember when it was. It was before COVID. And also just some exciting news. My husband and I shortly have known each other for 10 years. So it's nearly our 10-year anniversary. So that's a bit of exciting trivia for you. All right. So Lenny has asked, liked and shared, will I ever get back on board with 2 RFS Volunteer Brigade? I'm on the books with just wishful thinking. I feel you will with one of them, not both of them. Yeah, I'm draw. There's kind of a blockage with one. I don't know whether you've argued with someone there or you've kind of it's kind of like based on something you've said or something the way you've behaved, Lenny. But I feel at the other one there's no animosity like that. So I feel like you will with one of them. And I also feel like it's a bit of a test that when you if they say, mate, can you come and do this weekend, just go do it, even if it's a bit inconvenient. Like it's almost like there's going to be a test or something. Yeah, but that chapter's definitely not over, Lenny. And I feel like you've worked, I don't know whether you've worked on your fitness or you've done something, like you've kept something up or you've kept current with something. So that's not gone unnoticed when you go there. All right, thank you, Lenny. All right, hi, Vicky. All right, so Belle and Jennifer and Margaret, and Rachel. Okay, Rachel's a troll. That's fantastic. So block user. So just deleting a troll. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't solicit readings. If anyone tries to, then they're a troll and let me know. And by the way, I've actually had to turn off my Facebook reviews because of trolls, which is pretty shit, really, because I had some nice, good ones. Yeah. Okay, so let me put this up. So if you're asking a question, you do need to like and share the video. So follow my Facebook page or Facebook group, or subscribe on YouTube, Rhonda's Readings, and let me know you've done that and share the video and then ask your questions. Yeah, Lenny, you've just answered your question. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you've just answered your question. You've actually really pissed someone off, which is the reason why there's a blockage for one of them. But I see you volunteering at the other one. Okay, yeah. So for those of you who've asked for readings, I'm not going to answer those questions until I see that you've liked and shared and let me know you've done that. I know that Robert has subscribed, so I'll go to his one next. Okay. All right. Dropped one. Awareness. Okay. All right, Robert. I went to pick up one card. I dropped awareness, which says, when I focus on my positive energy, I'm aware that I attract more of it. And I also asked, basically before I picked a card, I asked, is there a future for you and Billy? And I got this, no doubt. I'll eventually achieve success because I don't want to allow myself to doubt. Billy's a bit interesting. Billy's not everyone's cup of tea. But then again, you're not everyone's cup of tea. So that's, it's kind of, there's something about your energy with Billy. It's like you could really clash, but there's some, and I'm not professing to know anything technical about astrology, but I feel like it would be worth looking, like when you're seeing more of Billy, to look at each other's charts compared to each other. And I just got told there's something interesting about Billy's birth. Almost like a sister helped deliver him as a child, or something really unusual happened at the time he was born, because I'm being told that there was like divine intervention to make sure it went smoothly. Yeah, so with Billy, I feel like you guys could argue and clash a lot, but it's actually going to work based on some, you know, like if you were to look at your charts, you'd think, oh my God, you'd clash completely. But there's something in Billy's chart that's a bit unusual and makes him not behave that way. Yeah. So I do feel good about Billy. And I don't feel like you're going to stay friends for long. Like you'll pass that. Thanks, Robert. All right. So I haven't seen people say they've liked and shared, so I might not be doing many readings. Okay. I'm sure Lenny would love that. Call Lenny honey. There you go, Lenny. You're someone's honey. A man's honey, not a woman's honey. Lenny, yes, and other factors. I feel like if you contact them, be humble and apologetic, because you've pissed someone off, basically. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so I'm not saying that people have liked and shared. Let me have a look at Linda's. Hi, Linda. I love that photo of you, by the way. Linda here. Is it possible for an update on love? Is there anyone orbiting? Any insight? Thanks. Okay. I don't know what this means, but I'm hearing laughter from my spirit guide. It's like there's either something right in front of you or there's something just around the corner. And that's around someone you've already got a connection with. But you've either not taken this person seriously, or kind of thought, oh yeah, but I'll sort of wait and see. But it's kind of like, it feels, Linda, like there's going to be your love life feels like I'm basically getting an image, and I'm looking, if I was to look out the window and see your love life, either see a heart or whatever, it's like there's a lot of fog and I can't quite see what's there. Like I've got to wipe it away to be able to see what's in front of me. Like there's a feeling like that, like something's a bit, not that there's a blockage, but it's either that you're not seeing something or you're making something more complicated than it needs to be. Because I do feel like this person that's interested in you is quite good energy, and will almost like keep you calm, or give you sort of a reality check because your business is, it's kind of like I feel like, sorry, no, you haven't had not asked a business reading, but it's like your energy in general changes around how busy you are around work. And it's like you've been really busy and then it's just been a certain level of business. But it's kind of like when that happens, your energy levels changes, and then you kind of look at love in the same way, or this person in the same way, but you're putting out a different intention. So anyway, I feel like that is actually clearing up. Like I'm seeing a rubber that's clearing away the fog and you're able to see properly. And then I feel like you're going to see this person as they are and like what you see, basically. And now I'm just hearing Kath and Kim, I like what you see. That sounded like an Irish Kath and Kim. Yeah, thanks, Linda. Okay, thank you, Robert. Yes, sorry, Oh my God, I hope your week wasn't as shit as mine. I really do. Yeah, just dealing with someone's ego. But anyway, but I hope you've had a better week than me. My pleasure. Okay. I haven't seen that other people have liked and shared, so I probably won't be answering those questions. Maybe I'll finish and go have my St. Patrick's Day ice cream. And how jealous am I? I don't know if you know Linda Usopi. She's flying to Egypt, or flying to Dubai and then flying to Egypt. So I'm pretty jealous. I went to Egypt in 2001. Got to see the pyramids and Giza and Abu Simbel and Hurghada, the Red Sea. Yeah, absolutely amazing. It was just just so much fun, and I loved it. And Linda's actually going, obviously for a bit of a holiday, but she's going for a spiritual purpose as well. So I really look forward to hearing about that from her. And hopefully she's going to write in a spiritual voice. So if anyone else would like to contribute, as I said, let me know. It was quite funny. I obviously being in an Islamic country, and I've been to other Islamic countries, but in Egypt, I was doing a Kentucky tour in my 20s, and I basically was wearing it was hot, so I was wearing a t-shirt and just those linen sort of trousers, and I was walking, and I remember sitting on something and standing up thinking, oh, that feels a bit strange. I've got my legs really breezy. And then suddenly the tour guide ran up to me and put a sarong around my waist. I said, what are you doing? Like, why are you touching me? And he wasn't sleazy or anything. He said, what are you trying to do? I said, what do you mean? He said, your ass is showing, you've ripped your trousers. So that was really funny. Here's me trying to dress conservative in this Islamic country. And I basically spent the day with ripped trousers and a sarong tied around my waist. But that was pretty funny. It was certainly interesting. Even at the airport in Cairo, we flew from Athens to Cairo and back. Obviously they look at your bag and look at your carry-on bags and things like that. The Islamic guy pulled a tampon out of my bag, and they were speaking in Arabic, looking at each other like, what's this? And a guy sniffed it and put it back. And exactly the same thing happened to another girl on a tour. And I didn't see hers, she didn't see mine, but it was absolutely hilarious. And I, of course, looked in my bag afterwards, and I had about 6 loose tampons, and I didn't know which one he touched, so I threw them all away. But yeah, it's funny, just a cultural sort of thing. And we also went to, it's funny because it's so hot, it's sort of like 3 a.m, and you're still awake because you've been looking at things. And we would have dinner at about 3 a.m, and you think, oh, that's it kind of gets to a stage when you're still awake, you do get hungry again. And when someone says, oh, we'll go for dinner, it's like, okay. And there were so many families, even kids that were awake at that time. And it's funny, they had, beautiful Middle Eastern type food that you can smell the sumac, all the spices, that sort of thing. And then they obviously go by what they think Western food is like. So it was quite funny. On a table of all the people on the tour, they gave us, we could choose between rice or pasta. And you either get a plate of just steamed rice or just cooked pasta, like fettuccine type pasta. And then for the sauce, we were given a bottle of ketchup, tomato sauce, or barbecue sauce, or not barbecue, or something like barbecue sauce. And they just sort of squeezed that on. But that was their idea of what we ate, as in pasta and pasta sauce. But yeah, I thought that was funny. There was interesting sort of cultural differences as well. In Egypt, no, I didn't. I was obviously on your psychic then. It wasn't really until because I lived and worked in England for 3 years in my 20s. So I basically went to spiritualist churches and that sort of thing. And that's what really kind of consolidated my understanding that, yes, there's other people like this. Maybe I could do readings, maybe I could do something about it. So that's sort of I didn't actually feel any past life connections in Egypt. I did in Iceland. I went to a conference in Iceland. I also did in Scotland. I felt past life connections. Where else have I felt past life? I did in Canada as well on the East Coast. I can't remember exactly where I was. And it was, I think, Cambodia. I think it was around. I can't remember where in Cambodia. So it was basically we went sort of from like Thailand, up Thailand, Chiang Rai to Laos, Luang Prabang, Vientiane, and then down through Vietnam and then Cambodia. So it was sort of north of Cambodia, like not Phnom Penh. Yeah, so I have felt past life connections, but and that sort of like clairalliance where you are in a different location and you have just a feeling or just a knowing about things. Like I knew in Scotland, in a castle, I knew where the kitchen was because I used to work there, and I just got an image of myself with really skinny legs. So I was happy about that, but really skinny legs, bare feet, and it was almost like childlike hands and legs. So I felt like I was a child that worked in a kitchen in a castle in Scotland. So yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, 100%, Lenny. Just you need to just be humble, mate. You just I get why you I understand the point you're making, but you do have to remember that's your opinion. And if someone's in an organization or a profession, they have professional responsibilities. So they can't just up and agree to every person's opinion. And they need to, and even if they disagree themselves, they need to keep constant in what they're telling you. So I feel like all you had to say to them was, okay, I get what you're saying, but I disagree. I just want that noted, rather than argue with them, because that's just about egos and you're not actually achieving it. By the time you raise your voice or feel like you're starting to get upset, you're not actually achieving anything. All right, so I can't see that anyone else has shared or anything like that. And I've blocked the Bogan troll. Oh, she's probably not a Bogan. She's over from overseas. Robert's always felt a connection to vintage buses. Yeah, there is a there's an open day once a year that my husband and I have been to a couple of times and gone on vintage buses. For the life of me, I can't think of where it is, but if you just Googled vintage bus open day, and they go to Rockwood Cemetery, I think it is. But it was quite interesting. I mean, the buses are just, yeah, it's just interesting. Basically, it's sort of, and I didn't grow up in Sydney. Like I'm used to the older buses and trains in Melbourne, not in. Yeah, there are still Bogan trolls, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Margaret. It's funny. My friend who died, Robert, we met in England, and he actually gave me away at my wedding. I've been to 83 countries. He's been to 183. So he, not that it was a competition, but I absolutely loved hearing about his travels, and he loved hearing about mine. And it was quite funny. He went to Antarctica and went to the Arctic, and he always wanted to see a polar bear, and he never actually saw one because first time he went, some kid had to have her appendix out, so they turned the ship back. And the other time he went, the ship broke down. So he just, I mean, it really sucks. Like, and they're really expensive. Like the first one he got, I think he just got free passage on the next one because he didn't actually go. And the second one, it's like they offered him 50% off or something, and he said, no, that's just not fair. And he ended up arguing, saying, well, why have you got a helicopter when you didn't use that? inconvenience us all, kind of thing. Oh, is that? Yeah, possibly. I don't remember. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to do one last question. Liked and shared. Hi, Christine. Is the job I'm about to start the right one? Okay. All right. It's the right one for now. I got this card, intuition. My intuition guides me to people, places, and jobs that I enjoy. It's kind of what I'm being told is if you don't, it kind of feels like it's a job where you start, everyone's over friendly, and you think, what am I missing? Like, what doesn't, it feels a bit not genuine. It almost feels like be aware of the joy levels, like keep it professional, because it feels like the job, like you're overqualified for the job, or the job's a bit beneath you or something. Like there's something like that where it'll sort of be more glamorous than it sounds. So something about that, Christine. But having said that, it does feel like it's a good option for you right now. But I feel like when you applied, keep looking what else is out there. And the card I pulled around that is ambition. I am ambitious and do not procrastinate or waste time being negative. So if the job feels negative or you're feeling negative about the job, just keep doing it, but knowing that you're going to move on. Yeah, so thank you for that, Christine. All right, good. Awesome. Yeah, maybe it was Australia Day, so I probably wasn't there the same time as you. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, so for those of you who have joined me more lately, I'm going to sign off soon. But basically, if you've got any content for the Spiritual Voice magazine, please let me know. Look at my website going across, rhondasreadings.com. You'll see my contact details. Please send me a text as well if you email me something, just to make sure I actually get that. In terms of my availability for readings, I do have some availability next week. I'm not available the rest of today. Yeah, 100%. And you got to trust your gut. But the option is okay for now. And just on that, when you've made a decision or you've done something and you think, oh, something doesn't feel right, just be really specific about what you ask your guides. So say, okay, doesn't feel right. Am I not being paid enough? Or is it, like, ask what exactly is going on? Like, is it, am I not appreciated? Am I not paid enough? Like allow them to show you what exactly specifically is, so that you can sort of address that and move on and not be faced with the same situation again where you've got to learn that. So that's quite specific. And even today, I mean, I posted a little thing on Facebook saying, been thinking about my Irish grandfather. You know, he immigrated to Australia in 1914, still sounded Irish in his 90s. He was an absolutely wonderful, beautiful, kind-hearted soul, beautiful gentleman. Taught me so much. You know, just, I was the type of child that had so many questions, and he was always patient and asked and answered my questions. So I really wish I knew him as an adult and could have chats about life now. But, you know, even on Facebook, I posted that I asked my guides for, and he's been around me a lot this week. It's been really quite a tough week for me, for reasons I don't need to go into. But I know that my grandfather's been around me because I've felt him and I've heard his voice. But I asked him today, I thought I'll do a St. Patrick's Day live, but I asked him today for something specific to show me that he's around. And I asked him to have that expressed as an act of kindness, because he was very kind. And I also asked for that gift to be something that I like. So something that's going to make me happy and make me smile. So I ordered a cappuccino, a small cappuccino, and I was given a cupcake with green icing for St. Patrick's Day. And it was beautiful. It was just sweet, satisfied my sweet tooth. It was kind. The lady that gave it to me was just really sweet, really, just have a good day, enjoy, and kind of thing. Really, really sweet. So, I mean, that was beautiful confirmation. I asked for something specific and I got it. So that applies to you as well, Christine. Yeah. So this job's a pay cut. So that's, I've got goosebumps about that. So you're not being paid for what you should be. And I do feel like when you'll go to it, it's almost like it's the best choice for you right now. But once you're in that position, you'll be able to say, I'm doing this, and then apply. So I don't know whether you're not working now or this job is more seen as more reputable or something, but it's like you'll do that and use that as a stepping stone to get to the next one. And that's not bad because you're not using them. They're actually getting a lot out of you. And, there's a lot of value in speaking up when pay isn't right. So, for example, I used to be a sleep scientist. I used to manage sleep labs. And so before I got to, actually, no, it wasn't before I got to manage, but I was doing, I was in a different state and I had to do something in that state. And I thought, oh, I'll just apply for some work while I'm here. And I went to a job interview where I was expected to work night shift. I was expected to train nurses on the technical side of how to do sleep studies and train them on how to use the ventilators for sleep apnea. So I was sort of given a lot of responsibility, and they only wanted to pay me like $28 an hour or something, and no penalties. And I said, well, that's bullshit. If you want my skills, knowledge, and experience, you'll pay for it. And she turned around and said, well, there's no other facilities in the state. And that wasn't strictly true, but she had a point of, if you want to do this role in this place, then that's what we're going to pay. And I didn't accept the job. But then she kept hassling me saying, you're going to, here's the employment paperwork. It's like, no, well, you can pay me, you can double that. And then I'll think about it, kind of thing. And she never did. But that's an example, Christine, of when you know how you've got to know your worth, and you've got to be able to, say that. And same for doing psychic readings, your worth. There's people that, I think it was the last Melbourne one. I can't remember which one, but there was one stand that had a religious affiliation, and they were charging something like $40 for a 20-minute reading. No, $20 for a 40-minute reading or something ridiculous. And every single person that came to us from a reading, they over there said how bad they were and they should have just come to us in the first place. So, you've got to know your worth. And if you know that you're good, you've got to charge a certain amount, because if you undercharge or say, yes, I'm going to accept a lower wage, then you're putting that intention out there and you're manifesting that. Yeah, absolutely. And this job's like the perfect stepping stone to get your self-worth, to understand your self-worth. Sorry, that wasn't good English. So yeah, perfect stepping stone for you to understand your self-worth. Beautiful. Beautiful. To have a look at this last comment. My grandfather was Irish, Rayfield. She married my your grandmother was Irish, Rayfield. She married my grandfather years ago, both passed on, both are my guides. Oh, beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I know that my daughter's one of my guides, and it's absolutely beautiful. Like, it's just, yeah, beautiful. Hi, Tinker, how you going? I've just ordered your poster. All right, beautiful. Okay, so yeah, so as I said, in Melbourne, Victoria, the next couple of weeks, then I'm going to be in Christchurch, New Zealand, or around there for the 2 weeks, being at the Body, Mind, Soul Festival the 1st and 2nd of April, talking at 12 p.m. Saturday and Sunday in Workshop Room A. So that's basically what I'm doing. And then moving on to May in Melbourne, June and September, and then other sort of thing. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I've got goosebumps. I don't know. Let me know who that is that said that. Thank you so much. So that's just, that makes me feel a bit teary. Yeah, thank you so much. That means a lot to me, after having the week I've had. My last job was toxic and took, yeah, that's, yeah, I've had a job like that where it was just so shit. My confidence took a battering. And I don't know what it is about my. I think my work ethic kicks in, and my intention. Actually, I've had two difficult jobs, but one was worse, and it was actually interesting because that was the best pay. It was the first job I had in Sydney. It's the best paying job I've ever had. I was basically paid about. I was doing the same job as I was in Melbourne, and I was paid about 40 grand more to do that in Sydney. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And it was, there was conflict at every level to the point where it was in a hospital, a public hospital. When you go to other hospital departments, like you literally see other staff, random people screaming at each other in the lift. Like it was just so toxic. And my mate Robert, who died, he also worked in that hospital as a microbiologist, and he said the same thing. And I kind of thought, oh well, and when I accepted the job, I remembered his words, and I thought, oh, but that's a completely different department. I'm a medical scientist, but I'm managing a sort of a lab, a clinical facility, so that's completely different. And yeah, it was spot on. It was pretty shit. Like from day one, it was shit. Even things like I, as a manager, I had to do the pay. You enter the pay into the computer, and it was quite an analog sort of outdated system. It was a bit crap. But then my manager, the business manager who managed about 12 departments and didn't know what was going on, but she would go in and change things. Like she would take off sort of like 15 minutes of someone's shift so that they were paid, they missed out, like they weren't paid for their lunch and things like that. And I just had all these staff say, you got the pay wrong. And then when I actually checked what was going on, I took screenshots of what I did compared to what was processed. I realized she was doing that. She was logging in like half an hour before the pays were due. So I used to do that. And then I'd log back in like 5 minutes before the pay was due, worked out what she was changing and change it all back. And it was just that it was so stupid having to do that. And then if I was on a phone call or something and missed doing that, I'd have to do pay adjustment forms. And yeah, so it was just really stupid. So it's sort of jobs like that are so toxic that that sort of Christine, they really take away your self-esteem. And what I don't get also is that particularly when a manager or an employer does something like that, when it is kind of bullying, basically. It's wasting your time. But when they do that, they don't realize that they're costing themselves money, because all the time that you spend dealing with the bullshit, basically, you are not making them money or, planning or doing something for that future of the company. So it's really interesting staff dynamics around bullying and toxic relationships. But even if talking about being editor of the Spiritual Voice, even if you want to talk about that as by way of how it affected your spiritual well-being, being in a toxic work environment, if you want to write something about that, Christine, that's my website going across, rhondasreadings.com. Yeah, there is. I'm not getting anything clearer about that, but that's, I feel like it is. Beautiful. Also, to let you know, if anyone wants to leave a Google review for me, I have a Google business page. It's Rhonda's Readings. But make sure it is just Rhonda's Readings. The photo of me, the Psychic TV photo of me with the pink top, and it's in. I've got a post office box in Queensland because it's cheaper than Victoria and New South Wales. So it's Rhonda's Readings in Ashmore in Queensland. So that's my business page if you want to leave a review. But yeah, I might leave it there. And thank you so much for joining me on St. Patrick's Day. I hope you enjoyed my greenness and my Facebook photo of my green cupcake. But wishing everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day. It's also, by the way, World Sleep Day. So it's important to look at your sleep hygiene, factors affecting your sleep and well-being. That's also something dear to my heart. If you do want to, oh, thank you. I don't know who that is. I can't see your name. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Beautiful. Oh, thank you, Margaret. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, today is just a day that I really think about my beautiful, beautiful granddad, and I'm so blessed to have had him in my life and helping me this week, basically. So anyway, now I'm getting teary. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday fortnight. Thank you. Bye.